Some years ago, somebody asked a question, a friend to a friend, and the question was about sending his wife to the UK to study and at the same time work. And he asked if it was a good idea. And in truth, it's difficult to advise people about traveling abroad or not traveling abroad. It's very difficult because you don't want to put yourself in a situation whereby you get blamed. If things go wrong, you get blamed. If it doesn't go exactly how the person planned, you still get blamed. And it's one of those journeys that you don't really know what you're going to expect, or you just need to know that in between the process, there's going to be a lot of turbulence. So when he asked me, I did not give him any advice. I'm not used to giving people a definitive advice. But instead, I told him a story, a short story, which I'm going to share with you. A very short story. And that short story dates back to 2007 when I was living somewhere else. I had neighbors within my house. And one of my neighbors, a guy, had this girlfriend. The girlfriend comes over to stay. Sometimes she stays 2 nights, sometimes 1 night, depending. I knew nothing about anything that was going on. And trust me, I'm usually very friendly, very nice. I entertain people. And sometimes, even when I'm cooking in the kitchen, she comes around to say, "Hello, how are you?" I say, "Fine, I'm cool. How are you doing today? How's work and everything?" Yeah. I was not thinking of anything at all. Until one day something happened. The lady was on the phone with somebody, speaking to somebody. Apparently, she was speaking to her husband. And according to the conversation, she told her husband that she was about giving her patient medication. And that was when it clicked. So all along, my house has been the hospital where she comes over to sleep. So in that instance, I realized that she works nights. So she comes over to meet her boyfriend, sleep over, and we'll go back home. And after that telephone conversation, they started laughing in their room, herself and her boyfriend. So, in summary, this lady has a husband, a proper husband. I later found out that she had, at the time, 2 kids and a boyfriend. So, whenever she chooses to do night work, she comes to my house to stay with her boyfriend overnight. And the husband is in the UK. They live together. Now, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is the concept of night work is very risky because when a woman prepares herself going out in the night for work, you can't stop her. She's going to work. Likewise, when the man prepares to go to work all night, you can't stop him. You don't know where he's going. So I just narrated that story to this guy. And we are talking about couples that live in the UK. If that could be happening, imagine what will happen if you live over there and she lives in the abroad. And that was all I said. If you are not mentally and psychologically stable enough to embark on distant relationship, even while you are here, just under your nose, you don't know what is going on. So if you're not mentally prepared, psychologically prepared, emotionally prepared, you have to think twice. That is all I have to say. I'm not suspecting anybody, not throwing shades, but just saying peace.